Keegan Jekyll had a do-it-yourself attitude when it came to making music, then took off, leading to over 3 million views on YouTube using the pseudonym Boosted, and has over 7 million catalog streams. Boosted, how's it going?
Yeah, how are you?
Things are good. How are you doing? You're dropping a single today.
Yeah, I just had a song come out. It's called Used to Love You, featuring Myles Lloyd, and he is an independent R&B artist from Montreal, actually.
Okay, so how'd you get hooked up with him?
Actually, it was through my old distribution deal that I had with Believe Music, and we just kind of met through, because we had, similar people that we, dealt with there, so kind of just met through that, over Instagram and stuff.
So did you guys write this together? Who wrote the song?
I actually made this as a demo to send to Myles because we were just trying to work on something for the longest time. I just kept sending him demos, and then this one kind of just clicked. Once I had it, he really digged it, and then next thing you know, he got back to me with the verse pretty quick.
And today it dropped June 30th. I can't believe that I got a hold of you on the day your single dropped. So how do you feel today?
I'm excited. Yeah, it's been a long time coming. We made this song about a year ago. It's kind of been done, kind of just sitting in the vault for, I'd say, a couple months now, all mastered, mixed, everything. So it was just about planning and really getting everything figured out. And I really wanted to drop it as a single because I felt this one was really strong, really cool, different from the other stuff I've dropped. So we just coordinated it, and yeah, it's finally up everywhere now, and I'm excited to see where it goes and how everything does. So.
That's exciting. And April 28th, you dropped another single, Shawana. So Are you going to put all these onto an album, or are you going to keep doing singles? How's that working for you?
Yeah, so I'm actually doing an EP with 604 Records, my record label. So we're just dropping singles right now, and then I'm planning hopefully sometime in August to drop the project, and that's going to be a 6-song EP. So we just been dropping as many singles as we can because I feel like they perform a lot better nowadays.
So you're newly signed with 604 Records.
Yeah.
Okay, how'd that happen?
I actually signed up for a songwriting camp. I want to say a little over a year ago. Yeah. Maybe no longer than that, I'd say. Yeah, I just kind of sent my demo or songs I had kind of already out. Next thing you know, they just messaged me and said, hey, you're past this level, I feel like are you interested in signing? And then kind of just got connected through Jonathan and everybody at the label. So it was a pretty long procedure because I just wanted to make sure everything lined up and had a lawyer involved and stuff. So it took me a couple of months to sign. And then once I signed, we've just been trying to coordinate and figure stuff out and go from there. But I think it was back in February last year, I officially signed. So
well, congratulations.
I was independent completely before. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Yeah. And you already have music out. You had a full album out in 2019, and that was Below Zero. So was that a COVID project for you? Because you produce your own music, don't you?
Yeah, that project was actually mostly it was all mixed, engineered, written by me. I didn't really have anybody. There was a couple of producers on YouTube and stuff that I had, but it was mostly produced by me. I made that album back in high school.
Oh, yeah?
That was my final year in high school when I was graduating. So, yeah, it was kind of cool. I didn't really think I was going to go through with music when I dropped that. I really didn't know what I was doing at the time. And I just put it on DistroKid. It was just I didn't have any backing by anybody really. It was just independently me. And even at that time, I didn't really have a lot of people that even I knew closely that supported my music. It was mostly just people online, and I really started gaining traction on YouTube through that community, gaming communities and stuff. So it just kind of picked up on its own. I didn't really have any support from anybody, so it was cool. It was cool to see how much the internet could really help someone's career. So yeah, and then just kind of dropped a song called Back, which was my biggest song on SoundCloud back in 2017 or 16 or something. I was 16 years old.
Oh my god!
And then and then it just kind of picked up. I was on a trip with my family in Hawaii, and I was why am I getting so many thousands of streams? I didn't do any marketing. I had nobody behind me, and it just blew up on YouTube. Some big Russian YouTube channel used it, and everybody kind of spread it. I think it has over 3 million views on YouTube. Big numbers on YouTube, and it took me a long time to get that on Spotify because I didn't own the rights to the beat.
Right.
And then eventually got up I think a year or two later, and then I feel it would have done better even if I had fully rights and dropped it at the time. But I wanted to make sure I get it out, and I put it on that project Below Zero. And I feel that was a good backing for that project. That's what really kind of helped me independently, just having that bigger song kind of push the whole project. So
as a 16-year-old, what kind of programs are you using, and did you kind of teach yourself how to do all this?
Yeah, so when I was younger, I always knew I wanted to make music and stuff, and I got FL Studio. just because I saw like a bunch of EDM producers back then like using it, and I thought it was like kind of cool.
Yeah.
And then I got Ableton a couple months down the line, just because I felt like it just wasn't for me. I was trying to find like some alternative programs, so I started using Ableton. Just kind of messed around. I watched a lot of YouTube, and like back then, I feel like YouTube tutorials were even like bigger. Like a lot of stuff I learned was on YouTube. And just like experimenting, and I had like $100 mic. Like, I didn't really have the best equipment. I was just kind of like trying my best to dial in my sound just from what I had. Over time, it just practiced and kept going at it, and I felt like I got like a pretty decent sound for like what I was given, and like my knowledge at 16.
Well, and you're still pretty young, and you're signed with 604 Records, so I'd say you did pretty good.
Thank you.
Is there going to be a music video for this "Used to Love You"?
We wanted to do a music video for it, but Myles is from like Montreal, right? So we weren't quite sure like how we would coordinate coming up with that. We were just kind of thinking like we'll see how the song performs, and if it like does really well, or if for some reason like we feel like we need to do a music video or like we want to, we could always meet up and work on something like that. But I'm super picky on like visuals, and so is Myles, I feel like. So getting like that dialed in would be a lot harder, but we'll see.
It's obviously written about somebody. Is she going to hear the song and be like, oh, crap,
I mean, yeah, like, it's not like I'd say, like, directly to somebody. It's more like, like, just, I wouldn't say it's directed at a certain person. You know what I mean?
Oh, you're just thinking about your relationships in general and, like, how they end and how you feel and what you go through.
Yeah, like, it's more about, like, the anxiety of, like I said, like, ending a relationship, and, like, you feel like they used to, like, get back to you, and, like, you don't really hear from them anymore. It's more about, like, the feeling of, like, loss and stuff. It's more like, you can see it from a lot of angles. Like, I didn't want to write it like the song about like a certain person. I feel like I wouldn't say it's not fair, but I don't know. I like the way I make music is I like for people to relate from like different views, not like one view. So
yeah, so you can relate to it with whatever you're going through when you hear that song.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Not just like a single, something singly happened. I want like people that have been through multiple things to feel like, a connection to what I'm saying.
Okay. I was just checking to see if you were doing like a male Taylor Swift kind of thing.
No. It's a pretty intense song title, but it's not like it's the sample that I used in it, and I felt like it really like caught my ear and stuff. So it's not that one person. So
had to ask. Just want to mention too, when you're looking at boosted, you have to do zeros, not O's. That's the big thing. I went to type it in
That's
today.
the big thing. It comes up on Google search and like Spotify now just because of the algorithm. But when I first started out, it was like a lot of people would have a hard time finding our music. But I feel like once you kind of know that, it really sticks, because like it's pretty hard to mess up, because there's like in boosted there's only two like options, like zeros, like O's, like you can't really like, you know what I mean? So like once you know there's two zeros, you're like, okay. Yeah, off the start, a lot of people are kind of confused. I don't know, I feel like it clicks and I like it. It's different and it's kind of unique, and like when I was making that name, I don't know, I just wanted to make something different, like something that was...
Well, you definitely did, and you're doing a great job with your music too.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for taking the time with me, and good luck with this single that dropped, Used to Love You. Best of luck in the future with this EP as well.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that.